diehard Yankee fan, so I rooted against you so hard.
That's okay.
So I guess my first question, and sorry in advance, it was about 10 years ago. Is there any? I mean, there was a lot of buzz that day about what happened. 2003, Game 7, the swing. Were you getting texts, calls, all that stuff?
No.
Was that day awful for you?
I mean, obviously, I was crushed after what happened, but I realized that I was forgiven from the fans in January at the Baseball Writers Dinner. I got probably the best ovation I could ever receive as a player when they introduced me and walked on stage. It seemed like it lasted for 20 minutes, and it was truly amazing. It was one of those things where I was very grateful and kind of sensed, but you never knew because the season's over with. You go home and baseball's out of your mind until you start training for the off season and for the next season. So I was just very grateful that I was accepted that way.
I mean, we're here for a dinner in terms of teaching youth the game of baseball. Your career, not an orthodox one.
Right.
Is the knuckleball something that you think there's going to be a revival of? Is that something you see as, I guess, a dying legacy, or is that something you can see making a comeback, something that you could teach the next generation?
I think the art of the knuckleball is never going to die. I think there's going to be somebody that comes along, and there's already a kid in AAA now with the Red Sox. His name's Stephen Wright. That got called up a couple times this year. That has a really good one. So I'm not worried about it dying. RA's carrying the torch now and doing a good job in Toronto. So I'm just happy. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. I'm good.
I mean, are the next generation of these minor leaguers, I assume, saying you knuckleballers have something of a fraternity going.
Absolutely.
Is he included in it? I mean, is the next generation, they're reaching out to you guys?
Absolutely. It's anytime I get a phone call or try to help somebody out that's learning the knuckleball, I'm more than happy to do so.
The knuckleball is, it's an art. And people who've asked me, considering how effective it is, and just how baffling it is once it is mastered, why isn't that a go-to pitch? Why is that a last resort for a lot of these pitchers?
I think today's game is based on the radar gun, especially when you're scouting pitchers, young pitchers. They don't look at the quality of the pitch or the ability to get it out with the pitch. If you can throw it well and throw it for strikes, I think that's the most impressive thing about it is that, getting as many outs as you can, not lighting up the radar gun. I've seen plenty of guys that throw 100 that never last in the big leagues for more than a couple of years.
Sure. Well, and then you see a guy like Jamie Moyer, who's just around forever, or a guy like Rivera, who I wanted to ask you about anyway. Once the velocity starts going down, once that craft is honed, he is still so effective. Why do you think that, this is something that's almost a last resort for these guys? Why is the game so radar-based?
I just think the game has changed to the point where non-baseball people are running the game now. Guys that, I don't want to make it sound bad. There's a lot of guys that are GMs or in that position that are using the sabermetric system, and I believe in the sabermetric system, trust me, as far as the statistics are concerned, but there's a lot of factors that don't go into those type of mathematics that I think need to be looked at. So it's an art to learn how to pitch. And like Rivera, when he lost his velocity, he was still effective because he knew how to pitch. And I think the bottom line for any type of pitcher is get it out. I don't care if you throw an underhand. If you can get major league hitters out, then you should have a job somewhere.
And your thoughts on Rivera?
Just a class act of a guy, and I was able to get to know him over the last 4 or 5 years of my career. It's fun to watch him pitch and how he goes about his business. He is a true professional, and it was just an honor to watch his tour this year and to see him go through Boston and receive the awards that he got there. It was truly amazing, and the way he ended his year was awesome.
Thank you.